Brothers, today we have an action-packed game coming at you on the most played map and beyond all reason, Supreme. And in this match, we have a lot of good players going to be going at it. Red versus blue, no money on the line, but pride, arguably something much more important. Starting off, the top OS player for the red team will be Leo, going to be sitting in the C, and the top OS player for the blue team will be Hummel, as he'll be playing on the front line. Interesting positions taken, as Hummel has to now win the front line for his team in order to carry as the top OS player, where Leo is relying on his team to lock it in and allow him to get to that mid to late game on the C so he can carry from there. Let's find out who's going to have the better macro decision making. Sit back, relax, like and subscribe, because the battle is just about to begin. Now, Supreme to me is always a fun match to watch, as it's kind of divided into 4 sectors. You'll have the C on the right, the C on the left, the land in the middle, and then finally you'll have the eco/air players sitting in the back, being kind of the 4th players. The early game is all about our frontline enjoyers. If they can secure a position relatively close to the opposite side of the map, usually the game would end very soon. But if the game is even or just slightly in favor of one side, then C or eco definitely starts to take a foothold. Hummel here using his Janices, looking to get some nice poke damage. An amazing tier 1 early game unit if you have the hands, as they turn very slow and are very costly, so losing one is something you don't want to see early on, especially since when you get up to like 6, 8 of these, you can start looking to one-shot commanders with a volley, completely changing the tide of war. The only problem is that's extremely expensive,
Commander,
and they're very susceptible to a rush, and their DPS is relatively low. Hummel here opting to go for the beamers to prevent his Janices from getting run down. He's going to be trying to get up the Overwatch as well. If this thing comes online along with the Janus support, they could look to win the middle right out. But Pink, Honest Abe,
Commander, self-destructed,
already has his Overwatch up and running, but the Janices showing their prowess, insta-killing the turrets, allowing Light Blue's Rocketeers to walk up and deal some damage. But do remember, these Overwatches are basically a tier 2 unit in on itself, and keeping it alive is vital
Commander,
to winning the mid part of the map, as Hummel's turret has fallen along with all of his Janices. And the Overwatch now with Honest Abe's commander repairing it in the back with a construction bot on top of it.
Commander,
this thing is pretty much going to be impossible to dig out, especially if Orange can help him. But he looks like he's not paying attention, as his teammates here is getting overwhelmed. He needs to send in his own Rocketeers to back up his boy. Perhaps a misplay there, as with 1-2 support, I guarantee you Honest Abe could have held his turret, securing the mid position. But sadly, he did not pay attention, and now the mid has completely broken. With that Overwatch shut down, the Rocketeers now are able to dive head first into the deep end of red territory, completely ignoring the right turret wall, looking to get damage. If he can snipe this bot factory, it might be lights out for red and be a quick game. As well, any pawn production from Honest Abe, there'll be nothing here to match it. The eco players might have to get involved. Nexus or not real, they may have to help, as the pink player won't be able to hold on for very much longer. They've lost the middle, and now it's only a matter of time for light blue to reclaim this, getting additional 1,000 metal while getting additional mexes, furthering his economic lead. And when you win in the books, you win in the game. But as the middle has kind of been decided, let's take a quick moment to zoom out and check the rest of the map. The C, pretty much hard won by red. We all saw that coming, as he's the top OS player in the match. On the left hand flank, light green is winning the C, but it hasn't been decided yet. Ben, King Ben, is putting up a relatively good fight. It has not gone down yet. Yes, Rook here still has a few ships, but the presence is just not there. King is trying to prevent any shenanigans from Mend, like coming up to the flank here and shelling away and killing these turrets from Honest Abe. Anti-Raider Jammer coming up, very important, especially when artillery starts becoming an important play, as sniper bots have a lot of range, but if they can't see what they're shooting, well, they're pretty much useless. And that's what the radar jammer is for, forcing tier 1 spam into your opponent's base in order to reveal that critical information, to have your artillery and sniper bot make quick work of the enemy. Artillery is coming up for both sides. The gauntlet of choice, looking to play for the long haul. If we take a quick minute to look at the economies, red is winning at the moment, but it's still anyone's game. A bit of a run by here on the left hand flank. Men getting a couple metal extractors killed. Eco players going tier 2, getting his mexes out, and just looking to get that economy rolling. However, blue side opting to go butlers here. No more tier 2 mexes. Perhaps all of his already out, or his teammates haven't paid him and he's not feeling generous today. Anyway, both eco players are looking to play the long haul, and no aggressive units yet will be coming out. From the Geo player, a Starlight has been queued, and it's only a matter of time before he gets to the front line and starts shelling away with that insane 950 range. On the opposite flank for blue, the Starlights have also now been produced and are looking to hit the front. Starlights are always a fantastic unit to see. Personally, one of my favorite units in the entire game. They just look kind of cool as they just roll up and they got a big turret. Who doesn't love big cannons? Big cannons are what makes the world go around. With both teams spamming out Starlight along with gauntlets here, the middle control will now start to get contested. First Starlight has entered the fray and has already dealt with the tier 1 base defenses. They just do not stand a chance. But at this point, tier 1 base defenses don't really matter, and keeping the artillery, such as gauntlets or your Starlights, alive are vital for winning the middle of the map at this point. A couple of maces walking in, trying to get vision onto blue's side here, and they notice the gauntlet coming up. That's a hefty investment of 1,250 metal, the same cost as a Starlight. The gauntlet's DPS is much lower at 100, where Starlight's all the way up to 500. However, the gauntlet does have massive range advantage. If we can keep it alive over the course of the next couple of minutes, it will definitely pay for itself. But if the Starlights can snipe it, that man just burned his cash live on air. Great play from the red team, getting the Starlights out faster to the front line, sniping the artillery, and preventing blue from stealing the game. As we approach the mid game, my favorite part of Beyond All Reason, the tier 2 is flooding out. The C will start coming into play here in the next few minutes if one side can win decisively. As long as you're on the C, it's pretty hard to send your naval over here because you risk Amanda's flanking around and just accidentally getting out microed and losing the C. Because of this, winning the C is pivotal before you help the mainland. And it looks like green has overextended here as yellow has just demolished him, put him in the chokehold, and that's going to be lights out for green's army. And the best part is yellow gets 6,000 metal now, uncontested on the left-hand C. Red on the right-hand flank now still hasn't been able to decisively win. But with yellow's victory, it feels like it's only a matter of time before the left C falls now to red team. The gauntlet up, shelling away from afar. Great range here, but the Starlight Armada is starting to build up. 7 in total. In my opinion, Starlights are just the best tier 2 unit in the entire game. The range, DPS, phenomenal, and they feel like they scale better than pretty much anything into tier 3. As long as you have a meat shield in front of them, they can just shred everything into a million pieces. Starlights creeping up, the winds are falling, and blue's hopes and dreams are slipping through their fingers. But it's not over, and there's always a chance to become back and beyond all reason. I casted a match a while ago where red was in a similar position to blue, and they made a whole 180 comeback because they threw away their entire 10,000 metal army, and with a mistake like that, anything is possible. So red needs to still lock it in, be careful with the micro, and not get greedy and think they've won the game. They have a few res bots. I love this trick, getting up on there on the front line, repairing the damaged units, but sadly that's a bit harder to pull off. And a good snipe from the Starlight there shuts down the repair crew and sends them home packing. Mixing with the pawn flank here, this is a massive overextension from the red player, as now the Starlights are looking to get gunned down, but the Jaguars coming in just in time to stop the Starlights from falling. They're pushing very deep into blue territory. Micro is the essence in order to secure victory. The res bots here reclaiming all the corpses the second they fall. A true grave robber, if you will. And it looks like red has stabilized. The flank from green was extremely scary because those Jaguars weren't there. Those Starlights were as good as dead. And if the Starlights fall, the DPS goes along with it. Now with the Jaguars still in front as the meat shield, they are enclosing onto the Geo player. And if they get here, the match is over. If they snipe the advanced geothermal, blue is pretty much in a walking coffin. So they have to protect it. They have to do everything in their power to prevent this geo from going nuclear. The hounds are out. The other eco player has come in looking to help his brothers out. But red sees a golden opportunity as the wall has collapsed. The build power crumbling, and the geo has been sniped. Purple has now been sent to see Robot Jesus, and hopefully he's gonna have a good afterlife, as that man is completely out of the game. Perhaps blue should have swapped much faster. The units, if they were there earlier, they could have saved the geo. And perhaps blue could have crawled out of the sewers to win. As unexpectedly, as we zoom out, the right side C looks like it's been completely won by the purple player, as they're in a bit of a 2v1 here on the red, swarming him down. I don't know about you, but a 2-on-1, I don't like those odds. But Leo here, forced up against the wall, defending his C to the bitter end. And it's kind of hard to tell who's winning. It looks like red, with the proper formation, along with a few torpedo bomber support, has stopped the C advancement. On the left-hand sea, it looks like yellow and light green are relatively even at the moment. Maybe light green made a bit of a comeback while we were not watching and has stabilized over there. But the front line now has completely collapsed from the blue side as only the eco players and the sea players remain. And with the flood of tier 1 units getting unleashed on the side of blue, it's only a matter of time before the other bit of economic damage would have been dealt, sealing blue's fate once and for all.
Commander destroyed.
The resign vote did not go through. Blue believes they can still make the greatest comeback in beyond all reason history. I like cope, but that's a lot of cope. But I'm here for it, as a comeback is the best story. No one likes an easy win. No one likes to play a game that's over in 5 minutes. The best games to play and the best games to watch have always been the ones that look like they're won, and then they come back from the brink of defeat and clutch it up and get the victory. With the Geo getting sniped, the pawns flooding in one by one, and the beautiful wind farm now being invaded by the singular pawn. If the butlers here can just eat him, the damage would be stopped immediately. An army of sprinters now forced out from the green player, looking to do whatever he can to save this situation, as the air players have swarmed. The sea has now been lost on the left side. Yellow has completely won it, and the floodgates have been opened. As the resign vote goes out, blue lost and red was victorious.